Welcome to Daily Armour. Our verse today will be found in the book of John, chapter number 4, and we'll be looking at verse number 34. John chapter 4, verse number 34, and it says, Jesus saith unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Now, the disciples had went to go get some food, and they were traveling, and the Lord said, Jesus said, I must needs to go through Samaria. He had an appointment. He knew where somebody was going to be at a certain time, and it was vital that he go there. He wanted to have a conversation with the Samaritan woman. And the disciples were worried about being hungry and about traveling through Samaria. They didn't understand why the Lord would want to do that. But yet they went after some food. So when they come back and the Lord has spoken to this Samaritan woman, and she is just rejoicing because she's interrupted, her day's been interrupted by this Jewish man who, she assumed wouldn't even speak to her, much less, actually have a conversation with her. And so then we see, if you read the story of the Samaritan woman, she's very defensive. As women, I think that we can be very defensive. And I know that's an issue that I have in my life, and I feel like I've improved a little bit, but probably not by much. You'd have to ask my family. But anyway, so just meeting this woman, he had a special task. It was an appointment that he had with her, and that was more important to him than providing his flesh with what his flesh was asking for. He was tired. How many of us just get tired and you just like, I can't do it. I can't do what I need to do because I'm just tired. I fall prey to that all the time. I'm getting older, and I find that I wear out in the afternoon much sooner than I would like to. I used to go, pretty much nonstop, and then, I would crash at like 9 o'clock in the afternoon, or 9 o'clock at night rather, and I probably couldn't stay up till 10 o'clock. And now I'm tired, but then I have trouble falling asleep. So our flesh is just, it just gives us trouble. And being hungry, that's something that as I've gotten older, golly, I'm just saying like I'm hungry all the time. And the Lord is saying, but his work is much more important than when our body is fatigued or our body is hungry. And he's saying in verse number 34, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. The pastor mentioned this verse last night in the message, and I had been asking the Lord about some things in my afternoon that I wanted to change up. And when the pastor was preaching, and he was preaching about the Lord's will, then this was one of the verses that he took us to. And it really, really was powerful to me to see this, that it was confirmation to me that the Lord does want me to change some things about my afternoon, and what he's wanting me to do is not let the flesh control. Even though I am tired, even though I am hungry, he's wanting me to change some things that I do in my afternoon that is more important than what the flesh wants. And that's what this is talking about. That's what Jesus is giving a wonderful example about, that our flesh doesn't need to rule what we do. And so many times our flesh does, and I am victim to it. I have a weakness for it just as much as anybody. That, gosh, if I want something sweet, I want it, and I want it right now. And it's very, very difficult to turn those kind of things off. So this is a verse that I don't know how it might help you today. Maybe that you are praying about fasting. Maybe you are praying about changing up some things about your schedule, and some things that you just feel like you don't have time to do, or you're too tired to do, or it's just, maybe it's not something you know how to do. That is definitely something the last several years the Lord is pushing me to do things that I simply don't know how to do them. It's good for the brain, it's good for the mind, We might get frustrated ourselves because I'm slow to learn a new task. Sometimes I don't just grasp it the first time. I really have to study and practice and all this, that goes along with that, before that it kind of starts clicking for me. But that's healthy. And that's crucifying that flesh. It's so easy. The flesh wants us to give up. The flesh wants us to just be tired and go to bed. The flesh wants us to just be too tired to go to church, be too tired to read my Bible, be too tired to pray, be too tired to do the videos in the afternoon instead of doing them in the mornings. And that's something that I'm pursuing. I'm going to be pursuing that. So hopefully I will, with my new schedule, and that I keep my granddaughter during the day, and things have definitely are different, and I'm definitely a lot more tired than I was expecting to be. But the Lord is helping me prioritize what's most important. And the priority is, look at what the end of this verse says, to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. Jesus was our best example. He said he's going to finish what he's supposed to do. And that's what I want to set out to do. And I hope that's what you want to set out to do, is finish what the Lord wants you to do. Even though it's hard, even though maybe you don't know how to do it, even though you're tired, even though you get hungry and you get distracted, let's crucify that flesh. Let's not let the flesh lead, but the Spirit lead. And that's something that I'm going to be pursuing in my life, and I hope you do the same. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.